Hi guys, Kelly here. I just wanted to go through some of my sort of voice exercises with you. I've sort of narrowed it down now to a couple of simple exercises and kind of quick ways to get where I need to be with my voice. So we all know the importance of getting the larynx into the right place and pitch, and but how do you go about these things? How do you know when it feels right? And what I wanted to do is really primarily to kind of admittedly help myself in sort of find that place each time. But at the same point, if I can help any of you to sort of get over any particular element that you've been struggling with, then, that'd be great. So larynx height is one of the things, pitch is the other, open quotient, all these things you might have heard of. But I sort of developed, or not developed, but patched together from all the other tutorials a way that works for me to get there very quickly. And so I just thought I would share this with you guys. And it's a three and a half step process. And the first step is actually the one that kind of does 90% of it. It's the one that gets you there. And it's actually a very, very easy process to understand and to do. So without further ado, you have to be a chicken. And so you have to crow like a chicken. So think of the word caw, C-A-W, and so you go caw, 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 and let it get raspy, let it get that but go caw, and now get that into the pitch you want to be. So I can't do that caw, I can't go caw. Well, I suppose I can down here, and that would affect my voice and make it like this. But that's obviously not what we want. So one way is to start sort of falsetto and then come down. So if you go caw, 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 and you'll find sort of a place that's at the pitch you want. Because I find that most people who I read on the forums who are struggling don't seem to have that much trouble with the pitch itself. I see a lot of these voice pitch analyzer apps that are sort of looking at it, and they say, oh look, I'm in the female range, but when you actually listen to the voice, it just doesn't sound female. So the pitch itself isn't too traumatic for the other girls out there that I can understand. So get this caw at the pitch you want, so caw, caw, and just try and make sure, because the shape of the throat and the larynx will get there, and if you just then sort of push it as much as you can into the nasal area, it seems to lend itself, for me at least, into doing the soft palate at the back as well. So I go caw, and really try and sort of think Lois from Family Guy. Caw, caw, and then just talk from there. And I know that sounds a bit weird, but obviously just dial it back. So that's number one. And then while you're doing that, the next thing is just to bring your tongue up at the back of the throat. So you're doing the caw, 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 bring the tongue up as well, and then just talk from there. And everything will be really tight, and it's just a case of practice now. But anatomically now, that should actually be you done. So you've got your larynx in the right place, your throat shape, how you have that. To me, it feels like I'm sort of putting it in a diamond shape stretched out sideways. But that's probably not physically what's actually happening. And then you've got the soft palate sort of half closed down, so it's doing something in the resonance into the headspace. And then with the tongue elevated, it's closing up the mouth space. So all that together really gives 90% of the physicality. And then the only thing to do then, and part 3, and this is going to sound really flippant, but is talk like a girl. And by that I mean slow down. Guys gabble and rattle on, so slow down, think about what you're trying to say, don't say it too quickly, and don't clip words, so let them flow, don't sort of stop them hard, almost like you're letting the sound of the word run out before you stop the airflow. And then the last little part of this talk like a girl is to extend, or at least for me I find, and I don't know if this works with all accents, but for me I find that you take a single syllable word and you put a shape to it. So what I mean by that is if word is just a straight line and word is going down to up and word is down to low, what I'm doing is going low, high, low. So I'm going word and just extending it out, extending the length of word. And you can use that with any sort of, single syllable sound. And that just adds that sing-songy femininity to the voice. With all that together, the only thing to do then, because it might be that you're a little bit rough sounding, if you've gone from the core, you might be sort of like this a little bit, is then just to, with practice, soften out the sound as best you can. And I find one of the ways of doing that is to sort of overdo it, so sort of really try and be sultry, and then again dial it back. And everything I find when you're training, and this is, guys who are working out will tell you this as well, if you want to lift 300 pounds, you train with 500 pounds. You overdo it and then dial it back. And that's what I've done, and that's how I've got to where I am.
And consider this is my original starting voice.
So from there, I've come to here. So whether you think I've got the credentials to give you guys any advice, I don't. But obviously you guys be the judge with my voice. So if that's helped anyone at all, that's great. And I'm open as well to feedback and anything you think that I can improve on. Thanks a lot for listening, guys. Bye.